or all that bullshit that goes along with
That was
it.
1 hour on the nose, by the way.
Yeah,
So that's going to be easy for editing. Yeah, I like that. All right.
I saw that. Yeah.
Where do you want to go?
All right. Want to talk about how South Korea is doing that universal basic income stuff really quickly? Just
the UBI crowd is about to just get a tidal wave of wins. A tidal wave of wins. They're going to be there. It's going to. Mamdani's going to try something like that in New York. We're going to see something like that in Canada.
Does he have the ability to do
I
that?
don't know.
Like
He'll try whatever. I mean, it's UBI if daycare and buses and all that other stuff is free. Like those people.
But his aunt can't even ride the fucking subway. How could they
that was a lie, by the way. His aunt was living.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
What a shock. He lied. Oh my goodness.
Well, allegedly.
Talk about South Korea, then we'll talk about New York maybe next week because their election's on the 4th, I think. So
well, they're going to be giving out looks like around $180 a month in UBI to a number of different areas in South Korea, and this it's a pilot project. Ontario did the same not too long ago. Hamilton was one of the regions that had it, if you recall, and yeah. So UBI, you're right. I think there's going to be a lot more discussion about this in countries that are getting wrecked, where people are not able to fend for themselves and they need some sort of handout. Food banks isn't covering it. So what do? They ask for the government. The government looks at this. Okay, let's try this out, see if it works. In a perfect world, if there's no debt, you're not running a deficit, maybe, I could discuss this. But when there is an ongoing deficit in these nations, when the debt continually goes up year over year, doing something like this is just kicking the can down the road. It's not solving the problem. It's like you have a gunshot, you're putting a gunshot wound, you're putting a Band-Aid over it. Like, sure, it's going to help you at least temporarily, but you gotta fucking
UBI is just so stupid. It's just such a stupid, brain dead policy.
We have all UBI systems right now with like Canadian pension plan,
whatever.
Right? That is a pseudo UBI.
The pension, at least you allegedly are paying into it enough to see how much longer that lasts. But I don't understand. Like,
there's old age security.
Who are the proponents of UBI still? Floyd Marinescu. Like, he's okay. He's a proponent. Yeah, I don't view him as a con man. I think he's wrong about the type of people that exist in the world today. They're we are a nation of losers, unfortunately, in a lot of ways. And if you take people's job away from them, they'll just sit around eating weed gummies all day and jerking off. Like that's the fact of the matter. So I don't know what we expect to happen in places like Korea or Canada or like anywhere you tell people they can do nothing. There's a huge percentage of people who will become a problem for your society. Like, your birth rates will become a problem, like even more of a problem than they are now. Satisfaction will become a problem. Depression, suicide will become a problem. Like, it's not hard to figure this out. And by the way, I know you could say, well, Joey, there's studies that show that people are happier on UBI. They're more interested in pursuing passion projects, and those passion projects bring out the best in them. Like, I'm sorry, I just don't believe that. I don't believe it. And I also don't think that every passion project is made equal. Just because you want to finger paint in your grass and you think that that's a passion project, it's not. Okay. You're not going to be Aristotle or Socrates. You're not going to be Beethoven or Mozart. You're not even going to be Joey or Len. You're going to be a loser on your couch, jerking off with one hand, eating Doritos with the other. That's where most people will wind up when they're on UBI. If you want to know how that looks, by the way, check out what's going on in the States with the food stamps. Hordes of people who suddenly can't spend all their money on pop and chips, upset. They're gonna raid the stores and raid the White House and break into people's houses for what? I'll tell you.
Could you just tell me a little bit about this? What is going on with
EBT checks are being frozen, I think, this week or next week, and the government's basically going to say, look, we're not going into our reserves to give people food stamps. Like, we don't have the $40 billion or whatever it costs. You're going to be without food stamps for a while. Wow. And people are freaking out. And like, the thing is, if you like, it's not hard to imagine the mind of these simpletons, these sort of 50 IQ morons who are on Twitter, freaking out about, oh, the food stamps are going to run out. I'm going to lose my food. Well, I don't know, man. They told you that 3 fucking weeks ago. What have you done in the 3 weeks? Nothing. played Battlefield, unlocked some skins, Counter-Strike, and what else? Jerked off and ate Doritos. Okay. That's the kind of person you're giving UBI to. That person needs work. They need a gym and a schedule and a routine, because if you don't give them that, they will just melt into their couch and never to be heard from again. Certainly never to contribute to society. Give me a break. You know this. By the way, you work with people like this. You live near people like this. You may be a person like this and not even know. You may not even know. You don't know what you're going to be like when you have nothing going on for 6 months, for 12 months, for 18 months. You don't know what you're going to be like. Do not tempt this. Okay? Do not tempt this outcome by giving people free money. That's to say nothing of the economic repercussions in terms of price discovery for goods, price discovery for labor. Good luck, man. These guys are retarded. I don't know what else to say about this.
Well, before I go to sleep at night, I like to watch a little bit of YouTube. That's one of my.
Thank God! After all the masturbation talk, there, I didn't know where you were going to go. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
I rub one out. No, I like to. It's one of my guilty pleasures. I love to watch a little bit of YouTube before I go to sleep, and
yeah.
The ones that I have been watching lately, it's funny but sad at the same time, and it's just some bunch of dudes. I love watching trolling videos.
This is I love an eye into the mind of Len here. Here we go.
I love watching the trolling videos. Just absolutely love it. But these people, they're really good at trolling, but they do it in Red Dead Redemption and on Grand Theft Auto servers.
Online.
Like, okay. So people run these servers, and I think they're outside the Rockstar stuff. So people must be hosting their own, and it's funny but really sad at the same time. The sad part is there are people on these servers, and they live a life on these servers like they are in there. Like if you're in Red Dead Redemption, this is, I think, from the late 19th century in Louisiana. I think that's the setting.
It's in the I played Red Dead Redemption.
I never did.
Great game, but I can't remember where it's set. It is late 1800s, though. You're right about that.
And I think it's in New Orleans, so I'll just say Louisiana.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And so you see somebody's working as a doctor on there. Somebody's actually working as a doctor on there. And you see people working as bartenders, and they're living and acting the part. How little of a life do you have to do this? Right? Like, you're disconnected totally from reality, and you're using this as a way to, I don't know, maybe your life is
find fulfillment. Find fulfillment.
Maybe it is, but it's a sad reality of what's going. And if there's more people like this that grow every day, just like every day there's more Bitcoiners, if more people fall in this trap every day, you lose something. You lose getting in touch with people, like the human touch. This is sad, man.
Yes, sir.
It works so well in a UBI system, because then you could then do this all day long, live your life of fantasy, never have to leave the fucking house, and you could pretend to be a doctor all day long in 19th century New Orleans. How sad is that? But the trolling, by the way, is absolutely incredible. These guys, they do it in such a way they always get banned within minutes. It's fucking great.
I do love a good like role playing YouTube channel. I haven't been playing video games almost at all lately, and I am like desperate for a game that captures my attention. I'm worried that I have aged out of video games, because I really did love playing, and now I just don't. Nothing really grabs me the way it did before.
You know what grabbed Donald Trump was
the
commercial that was aired by the Ontario government, pissed off Donald Trump with the Ronald Reagan Foundation over there. Now, apparently, Doug Ford and team, they ran this by Carney's people. I think it was
PMO
staff.
Yeah, PMO,
somebody over there gave them that. This is, I can't say for certain, but this is the rumor that's going around. So initially, it seemed like Ford went solo on this mission and pissed off Donald Trump and made himself the enemy of Canada at the same time. But if this is true, then the federal government, or at least the prime minister's office, was at least gave it the thumbs up. Interesting. But wow, what a fucking terrible. They're not going to chat with them anymore.
EB's about to launch the same campaign today, right? For forestry in BC over in the States.
I thought you were talking EB Games. Okay.
No, David Eby. He took questions on it today. I was watching him and Fraser and someone else, I think maybe like the provincial attorney or something. And the question came up, like, are you still going to launch this campaign? Like after what happened with Ford? And he's like, yeah. Like,
I love this.
Okay, man. Like, all right, here we go. We're really all in on this, I guess.
Yeah.
Some of us are anyway.
At first you don't succeed, try and try again. But I guess if your neighbor didn't fucked up, you can improve on it and really fuck up.
Did you like the ad? Did you see it?
Yeah, I did. I saw the ad, and it seemed like it was taken out of context. At least that's the way I'm reading it. Because I saw the whole speech by Reagan, which is on YouTube, by the way. They're just the Ronald Reagan Foundation that and he was reading that from a piece of paper. Did you see him read it? Like there was no teleprompter.
I did not. Oh, it was good.
He sat there with a piece of paper and didn't really look up to the camera. He was just reading the paper and just going from page to page. Different time.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I don't like the ad in the States thing as like a broad strategy point here. I think it's ill-advised to do that. I think it's easy to paint as propaganda, and I think it's true that it is propaganda at some level. And so I don't know why we would do that. We also, just as an aside, we continue to have no leverage in any of the trade talks with the United States or American companies. Stellantis, the most recent example, obviously. Stellantis, great. There's a great clip floating around on CTV, Vashi, Capellos, and a handful of people. There's a great clip floating around there where someone on the panel basically says, look, everyone can say whatever they want about the contracts that Stellantis had with the feds and with the province and all this stuff. But here's the thing. Stellantis knows they have those contracts too. They know there's going to be repercussions. They know they're going to be sued. They know it's going to be costly. They know they might lose, but they just don't care. Like no matter what the outcome is on all that, they'd rather be in the United States. What does that tell you about the Canadian economic environment? The Canadian business environment? It tells you everything you need to know. I do not need to see an ad from Ronald Reagan to tell me that this is a bad environment. And I'm seeing it over and over again, over and over and over and over again.
Now, those people that lost their job from Stellantis and
feel terrible for them, but predictable outcome. Show me how you voted, by the way. Show me how you voted.
Well, if you're going to paint them with the same brush, if I'm going to just say it, like they're probably going to be left leaning, unionized job, blue collar, right? Mm-hmm. Like typically, you're like look at Windsor in the past. It's generally then you look at them. Are they going to be more inclined for a UBI type system to be implemented?
Len, don't say it. Don't say it.
And now you have a growing contingent in this category of people that want it. They're a bigger voting bloc. And in order to appease them, politicians are going to have to give them something.
Yeah.
EEI can only cover you for so long. And it's not like during that EI period or at the end of it, there's going to be a new factory that's put up that they're able to start working. When they shutter the Stellantis plants
it's over.
In Brampton and then the one in Ingersoll, the GM plant in Ingersoll. Yeah, it's going to take years before we see something come back. In this environment of this tariff stuff going on, they're not going to want to put business back in there. They're going to want to just wait it out, see what happens.
It's a real war, man. Not to mention that you're talking more and more about green initiatives and stuff. Like I thought we were done with this. We're still doing it. We refuse to be friendly to businesses here. I've seen a lot of Twitter accounts really stop. They've really stopped being polite. Heather Exner-Piro, friend of the show, Martin Pelletier, who I'd like to get on the show at some point. He's not a Bitcoin guy, but we do agree on basically everything else. Like these people are well respected in the business, economic, and resource community, and they're usually very measured in their comments, and they're just not anymore. They're just like, what the fuck is going on? Like you're gonna keep losing jobs. How many things can the premier pour out of bottle on a podium. I tweeted that picture of Honda in the Street Fighter 2 bonus level, smashing up a car. Like, here's Doug Ford at the next press conference. Now Stellantis moved.
Very well done. That's
like,
good.
You know what I mean? Like, that seems to be where we're headed here. Like, what's he gonna do? He's gonna drive. He's gonna play bumper cars with a Stellantis SUV. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I don't understand.
Did you see that latest one? It was in Ingersoll, and GM were making electric vans over there.
Yeah, I did see this actually.
It was called the Bright Drop. Bright Drop is one word. Take a look at this image, what it is. Surprisingly, this has been on sale since 2023. 7,500 vehicles of these Bright Drops have been sold.
You know how much they cost? You know what a 2025 Chevy Bright Drop costs?
Is it 150? Is my guess?
125. So I don't know, maybe 150 with options, but 125 here on Auto Trader.
What options are going to get in that? It's just from
Windows. You want Windows or no?
So it's just sad that they set this up, and I'm not sure if this was done with any intervention by any level of government. This Bright Drop, because I know that they're pushing electric here and all that bullshit, and obviously there doesn't seem to be an appetite to buy these particular vehicles.
Yeah.
So we just hitched our wagon to this electric, and it doesn't seem to be going the right way. Volkswagen pulled out of Quebec not too long ago. Remember, after getting some
Northvolt
grants,
right? Another big, I think it was 60 billion we gave Northvolt. They pulled out as well, or went bankrupt, one or the other.
And I think we're still on pace for getting rid of all new cars that are sold after 2035 they're going to be all electric cars. So no internal combustion engine, light duty vehicles.
Or is it hybrid, or is it full electric?
I thought it was full electric. I can't remember. Yeah, it's an ever moving target. I think that they're going to change that as we get closer. And I know that they're trying to scale it in, like 20% one year, 30% another year, and 50%, like whatever the fuck it is. It's just not feasible. Not enough people have enough chargers at home. There's not enough power to go around to charge all the vehicles if people are going to transition to electric.
Did you listen to the Business Cat? Business Cat and Fundamentals talking about exactly what you just mentioned there, how there's no charging infrastructure. And he was saying that on his trip, he took his Tesla then, all the chargers were old and slow. He thinks he's like, Tesla must be just dumping their old chargers in Ontario. Like, I haven't seen a charger like this in years. It doesn't work for the cars. Great. How would we know that? I didn't know that about the chargers that were going up. I thought they were decent chargers at the en routes. Apparently not. Apparently they're old garbage.
And we have a decent percentage of electric cars that are sold here compared to the States. You figure if they're going to put better chargers, it'd be here because there's a lot more people that could take advantage of it. And if they're doing that, that's fucked up. Yeah. That's on Tesla, right? Tesla's doing this?
Tesla, yeah. I don't know. I'm not sure who decides what goes where, but I mean, presumably the province pays for the chargers at the en routes, right? Not Tesla.
I don't know.
I don't know either. But maybe there's some arrangement there. I'm not sure. But the point is they're old. It's old tech. So why are we putting it in? Like, why are we? It's just so weird. Everything we do is just weird, man. Budget's in 7 days, baby. Strap in. October, November 4th.
This is going to
November
be
4th. November 4th, we got the New York mayoral election and the federal budget. Yeah.
It's going to be a good day. Good talking points for the next week.
Can't wait.
Another good talking point is the Ontario driver's license changes that are going to be taking place. And I didn't know that was the case, but up until recently, you didn't have to show legal proof of status if you're a foreigner trying to get one of those driver's license. Now you have to be legal in order to drive in Ontario. Shocking.
And do you know what shocking means? It's the first time you use that word. I don't think it's that shocking.
No. You weren't, trust me, you're not going to knock me over with a feather here. And I'm amazed that some funny things here. Now, commercial driver's license, a Class A, you have to have at least 1 year of Canadian driver's experience. So before you could just get it right off the bat, you can just be Class A driver and start driving around those big trucks with very little experience. Foreign license recognition. You have to be from a certain group of countries in order to have that count as experience. India is not on a list. Italy's not on the list, by the way.
Whoa, India! Why would you mention India there? India's. What do you mean?
It's the two eyes, Italy and India.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Not on the list. Yeah.
Good.
So, and you have to have valid residency in order to. All right. So the changes, big changes coming along. Will this result in safer drivers on the road? I do not know. Imagine if you are already a driver, you don't speak the language all that well. This news came out. Are you going to be able to digest this news because you can't comprehend it? It's just in a foreign language. So you're going to just be driving regardless, right? Until you finally get stopped. And you don't own a truck. Somebody else owns the truck. So as you're scanning the vehicle that the police do as they drive by, it's not like it's registered to the driver that doesn't have a fucking valid driver's license. So that guy's going to continue driving until he gets into an accident. And at that time, it's going to notice, oh shit, your license has been revoked because you don't have legal status here.
Very good. Very good.
What a disaster. I have nothing else to add to this.
We were talking about this offline. Are you at the point now where you want to steer clear of 400 series highways?
Nah, I'm still okay. And I want to point out that 3 weeks ago, I was in Hamilton. Did I mention this in the show or not? I don't remember. Driving in Hamilton, and a truck making a left on a street. Like we're stuck in traffic. I was far back, and he was making a left, and he almost ran me over. I had to fucking reverse backwards and then get out. I almost got fucking run over, man, by a fucking truck.
You almost became a Hamilton man.
I almost became, incredibly. So, you know what? Even though I went through that whole ordeal, I still drive. I still feel pretty confident in my driving abilities to avoid this bullshit. So, at least right now, I'm okay.
Okay. I'm in the same boat. I'm going to keep driving on the 400 series highways. I'm paying for them. I may as well use them. I can't let... I can't let newcomers steer me away. No pun intended.
Do you want to do the Hamilton versus Brampton man segment?
Let's do it. Let's get out of here. My throat is starting to tickle. You can see me coughing more and more. This is brought to you by our friends at 256 Heat. Twan is a legend. I mentioned at the conference that 256 heaters are not only great because they obviously work very well. Like I'm, heating with hash over here, paying a little bit to heat a room like this, which is obviously very cold during the winter, and getting Bitcoin KYC free in return. That's great. But also, as I mentioned at the conference, passes the wife smell test. Looks good, very quiet, energy efficient, and Twan's always got your back in terms of like support and stuff too, which is sick. So if you got a 120 volt plug in your house, hit Twan up. If you got something bigger than that, hit Twan up. He's got a fix for you. You want to heat a gym, heat a room, whatever. He's your guy. So hit him up, 256heat.com. Tell him we sent you, and you get a little bit of discount on the S19 models. Here we go. All right, I'm closing the chat. Okay, here we are. Blind.
Famous Hamilton versus Brampton man segment. You can play at home, play along with us, figure out which of the story belongs to a Hamilton man, which one belongs to a Brampton man.
So by the way, before we start this, I was approached by an Indian woman at the conference who I thought won a contest. She didn't win the contest, unfortunately, but she made it clear to me, very clear, that she loves the Brampton man versus Hamilton man segment. She said, even though I am Indian and it's always about an Indian guy being an idiot, I think it's great. And my husband is Filipino and he thinks it's great too. And I said, you know what? Love it. So if you're listening today, miss,
this is for you.
It's for you. I'm dedicating this Brampton Hamilton man segment to you and your husband. Let's get after it.
All right. So we have police in Canada. They arrested this man after an ambulance was set on fire outside a hospital early Sunday morning.
Okay.
And the incident occurred around 6 a.m. on October 19th, shortly after paramedics dropped off a patient at an Ontario hospital. Medics found the ambulance on fire after returning to the ambulance, authorities said. And investigators determined that a suspect had allegedly thrown an accelerant into the ambulance before running away on foot. And surveillance footage and witness accounts helped officer identify the man, who was located at a nearby bus stop and taken into custody without incident, police said. And it was a 31-year-old man, no fixed address, facing multiple charges, including arson, 3 counts of failing to comply with a probation order. Story number 1.
Okay.
Number 2. Man granted bail in kidnapping case after victim was allegedly
It's already over. It's already over.
sadistically tortured inside a U-Haul. So
what are we even gonna keep going for? Why we can just stop now? Go ahead.
So a man
finish
is
the story.
accused of violating, of a violent kidnapping case. He was released on bail, by the way, under strict supervision, following a special hearing. He was one of 5 people connected in charge with doing a kidnapping of this guy and torturing that took place on September 27th. Granted bail, and under the term of his release, he must remain under house arrest and be required to wear a GPS ankle monitor and must be supervised by family members at all time. And so the police alleged that the group kidnapped the man, who was later found beaten and bound inside an abandoned gas station. Officers responded to the reports of suspicious activity involving the U-Haul van parked at the site. And the victim, his name has been protected for a publication ban, and he was taken to hospital with serious injuries. The 5 men were charged with kidnapping, forcible confinement, break and enter, attempted murder, and weapons-related offenses. And it looks like this guy had prior criminal convictions before, breaking and entering, violent offenses. And so there's a publication ban right now on the bail hearings right now, so we can't really talk about what's going on. We are though. Either way, fuck it. It's expected to appear in a virtual courtroom early in the new year. And there we go.
Just want to be clear about the second story here. Did I hear you correctly that the court is outsourcing the supervision of this man to his family? Did I hear that right?
Yes, that is correct. He has been supervised by family members at all times. Yes, house arrest.
Which family members? Do we know?
No, it doesn't say.
I mean, this is clearly the Brampton man, the second guy. There's a U-Haul truck. There's priors. There's bail. It's obviously a Brampton man type. So that's an easy one. I would have, even though I already know the Hamilton man story, I know the ambulance story is in Hamilton. I would have guessed this one anyway, because the secondary characteristics of that second story are so obvious. The only thing you're missing there is the guy, was arrested in bare feet. That would have been the only other giveaway.
There we go. You're correct. So this was a recent story, and I kind of suspected you heard the Hamilton man story, but it might have flew under the radar given you were sick.
Did you see the video of the Hamilton guy setting the ambulance on fire?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That was at that's in the general. It's at the general roundabout for ambulances. So that's near, little inside baseball here in Hamilton. That is not far from Wayside House, where I am the vice chair of the directors. And that is a community that has been affected by mental illness, addiction, stuff like that. So to see that happen in that area of the city, not surprising at all. I'm glad the cops were able to pick that guy up. But that could have been a lot worse, because that is a high foot traffic area right there, as you can imagine. So good to see they got that under control pretty quick.
For our Christmas show, maybe we can do a whole bunch of different cities. We could do Hamilton versus
start
Brampton,
collecting.
Of course.
You got Calgary, about 8 weeks. So
Calgary versus Edmonton, Quebec versus Montreal, Vancouver versus
I don't know. Vancouver
Seattle?
versus I could go to Seattle or Portland versus Seattle. We could go hard in the States there. That's a heavyweight bout of men versus men up there.
Windsor versus Detroit.
Yeah, Windsor's another place.
It's completely across the border. Niagara Falls, United States versus something. Like, you gotta go with Niagara Falls or Buffalo, something. Like,
we're saying Sault Ste. Marie, man. Like, that's another place.
So okay, there we go. I would love to know some suggestions of some cities you want to have go head to head. I don't know, 10 of them, I'm guessing. Maybe
we'll do it. We'll do a special release that week, because we won't do a show that week. We'll do Christmas, but we'll record this in advance and
just release it. Just drop
and release it. Yeah, exactly.
Enjoy.
Exactly. So there you go. Love that. I love it. Okay, let's get out of here. Good show. Thanks everybody for listening. Thank you, Len, for hosting last week and week before without me. I appreciate it. And to all you guys, man, thanks for keeping CBP top of the food chain. We love you guys. We'll talk to you hopefully Wednesday with Mr. Arnaud.
And don't be a Sault Ste. Marie man.
Sault